Okay, first of all, you already know I have to do the whole disclaimer thing. All of the views in this video are me, myself, and I. They do not reflect the State Department, IIE, Fulbright, the Embassy, whatever other government or organization is a part of your Fulbright. It's all just me. But oh my gosh, congratulations on getting your Fulbright. Welcome to the family, especially if you're Fulbright Taiwan. I just love Taiwan. Okay, getting distracted. Okay, so I know you guys are probably bursting at the seams with questions, and so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna answer some questions. Kind of, maybe. Make sure that you click subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you can, see when this information is coming out. This is valuable. You don't wanna get left behind. So the first question that I think a lot of people have is always about the stipend. Like, how much is it? Is it gonna be enough? Am I gonna have to carry any extra money and all of that? When I tell you, you will be set, unless you're out there living lavishly and doing all of these unnecessary things, the stipend is enough. It varies from country to country, so I don't know exactly what it is for your country. I know what it is for Taiwan. I don't know if I can say that. And it also could change depending on whatever the norm of the country is that year and everything. So they give you the salary. Please ignore the sirens, sorry. So the salary that you get is about the median income of the worker in the country that you are in. So, a median salary can get you pretty far. For me, my rent was 200 USD a month, and there were 3 of us sharing a house. I had my own room. I actually had my own bathroom as well, while my roommates had their own rooms and they shared a bathroom. So the beautiful thing about, a Fulbright is that you have a lot of support systems, and they help you determine your housing situation, help you set up your phone, all of that is there for you. You're not just going into it blind. For the house, they set up your house, they find it, they do all the paperwork, all the legal things, they find your roommates, and your roommates are determined on your school. So if you're at a school that's closer together, you're gonna be roommates with those people. What else is there to say? For transportation, we actually had a really special situation, and we had a car that Fulbright provided, and we just paid, very little for it. Okay, so anyways, public transportation is something that I used a little bit. Public transportation was not the most convenient where I specifically was living, so I actually had a bike provided by my school. So that's another thing too, is that you can ask your school if they have a bike, an extra something to help you out. Don't be afraid, if they got it, they'll help you with it. And if they don't have it, then they might have a connection with someone in the community that can get it for you or with you, for a little deal, teachers helping teachers. So that's a little trick about the transportation. Speaking of transportation, is the perfect segue into what to pack. I did a lot of research on, the climate and other people's blogs and stuff, and one of the things that I saw was to bring a dehumidifier. And it wasn't until March that I realized why that was important. This whole time I was living easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, and all of a sudden I had mildew growing on everything, everything, my passport, clothes, books, it was reckless. So I bought a rechargeable dehumidifier from Amazon that I actually started using towards the end of my trip, and I really wish I had started using it before I saw the mildew actually accumulating. Wait, that wasn't the segue. Okay, the segue was your transportation will also impact the kind of clothes that you should think about bringing. So for me in Taiwan, East Asia, it's a scooter society, so maybe a dress isn't the best option or the most feasible for you depending on your comfort level. most of the women out there that are scootering are wearing really long skirts or dresses, but that's also just the cultural norm to be wearing like ankle length skirts. Those that didn't, they have like this bib that they tie around them, so when they're on the scooter, you know, we're not having a show. So that is something to be mindful of. It's also good to keep in mind that where you're going, they'll have things that you can buy, and think about what are the things that are more valuable to bring. And I would almost sacrifice bringing some clothes over products, because I actually found myself not bringing a lot of teacher-like type clothes, because those were things I felt I could acquire. So think about where you're going and what kind of products they might or might not have for you. As a POC, it was really difficult finding hair care products that were suitable for me in Taiwan, but luckily there was an expat that was already set up and established in Taipei called Black Girl Magic Supplies Taipei. On Instagram, you can find her. She carries a lot of ethnic products. There are some Facebook groups as well. There is Brothers and Sisters of Taiwan, and there's also Natural Hair Taiwan. Yeah, so those are some great communities to connect to, expats that are also already living there. So you can maybe connect to a POC that's geographically closer to you, because you're not always gonna have a POC or someone you can connect to, meet up with like this. So I really recommend connecting into those groups and meeting people that live close to you. That can also be the same across other countries too. Like, I know that those groups are really popular for East Asia, but I'm not sure. Maybe there are some POC expat groups of your country that you're going to. So I would definitely look into that and encourage you to join into those groups, make connections. Another part about making connections is that there is going to be a Taiwan, whatever your year, whatever your host country, cohort group on Facebook. Find that group, join into it, get connected with the people that are going to be part of your family for the next year. One thing that I really recommend doing is find like a travel or food, something that you're interested in about your country. You know, like how they have those tasty videos about like a robot noodle restaurant or something like that, or the fluffy Japanese pancakes, whatever it is. Like, find something that you're interested in, share it to that group with a statement along the lines of like, who wants to come with? And then people will engage with that post. You'll get a gauge of who is interested in what. You'll find some similarities that you can connect with, so that when you go to the first conference in August and you're surrounded by however many there is of you, you have something that you can connect to someone with and start a conversation. Like, I don't know about y'all, but small talk is not my ministry. So this was actually something that was really helpful for me. I posted a video about some food restaurant and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks delicious, I'm gonna come with. And so that can be your talking point or connection for starting a conversation with someone. Like, hey, weren't you that person that was down to go to XYZ? And you know what I'm saying? So good and strategic way to start building your relationships immediately. And I think that's really important, because there isn't a lot of integrated relationship building in the program. So, you know, like, how do you connect? How do you make friends with other people in other counties? And for us, you know, those relationships really started forging towards the latter half of our grant period, and that was just so unfortunate because, you know, time is running out, but we're just starting to get close to these people. So I would really recommend getting a head start on that in the beginning, so that way when you're also like have your long weekends and you're traveling around the country, you have people that you can connect with that can like show you the lay of the land, or you can do cross county connect, you know what I mean, whatever. Another thing that is important to keep in mind is that our experience, all of our experiences with Fulbright will be ridiculously different. Like, there's no one recipe or way that I can tell you your experience is going to be, because it's all determined on 1, your personality type, 2, your interests, 3, your ethnicity. And I don't mean that just for POC, but I mean like your ethnicity in relation to where you are. So for example, there were a lot of Asian Americans that were Fulbrighters, and they found themselves kind of in a precarious situation. People that are in East Asia, when they see someone that looks like them, they think, oh, they're not American enough. You know what I mean? And so there are different experiences that you'll have based on the way that you identify. Even people that aren't seen as POC in America have a POC experience abroad, because people have different concepts of things in other countries. One thing that I would say that was really jarring for me was realizing that my experience as a POC in America and my experience as a POC in Taiwan are 2 completely different things. The stereotypes and personas built around our ethnicity at home don't really apply abroad, because different cultures have different societal perceptions, societal norms, etc. For example, being in the store and the store owner is following me around. In America, it's like, okay, they definitely think that I'm stealing something, but in Taiwan, it was like they really, really enjoy lending a hand and helping, and they're so hospitable towards foreigners that they want to like make sure that everything you need, you find. So that was just, you know, really weird, realizing that you're kind of starting on this fresh plate, and to not carry those same weights that you carry at home into your new country, because it's not necessarily going to transfer. It's almost as if like my dark skin gave me special treatment in Taiwan, and that's just so bizarre to feel. You know what I mean? Like, you're regarded as special and slightly exoticized, and there were times that it did get really draining. So I'm sure you guys have so many burning questions, and I know I didn't even like breach the surface of any of them. Drop your comment. So drop your questions below, and I'll be sure to answer them either in video format, or I'll just, you know, comment back to you. It's really important that you leave your questions here versus on another private platform, just because other people might have the same questions. So it's really helpful if we can just kind of create this forum of discussion here. I can do videos on food recommendations, traveling inside the country, outside of the country. What else can I do? Yeah, like anything. So just let me know what you guys are interested in, and I got you. Oh, I'm so excited. And please, okay, I should also probably make the disclaimer that my questions are best suited for those living in Taiwan. I know you're like maybe curious about which county to put as your preferences, because I don't know about y'all, but I just went on Google, typed in the name of the city, looked at the photos, and I was like, do I vibe with it? Yes or no? But now that I know a little bit more about like the cultures of each city, I can maybe help you guys get a little bit more intricate than just a Google image search. So let me know, and I look forward to it. I feel like I have one more thing to say. Oh yeah, so make sure that you remember to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you can see when those new videos and those answers drop. This is valuable information. You don't want to get left out.